Pretty cool, super good deal from Hammock Gear. Get a little cover to cloak the hammock and protect it, maybe throw it over top for a sheet. This is their Harvester camo. It's a really nice looking camo. And I've got a couple little stoves. Nice, they gave me a pouch. This will fold up into a little twig stove to kind of boil your water, and then a little alcohol stove here that will go inside it. Just look at that Harvester dark camo. Alrighty, action. Where is my hammock? Introducing my cloaking device. The Hammock Gear bottom quilt protector. This is their Harvester camo. I really like it. It's like a dark mixed camo. And if you were not to have it, you'd see all of this. Isn't that pretty cool? Another reason I've got this was I didn't know about how it all went on, but I'm really liking this adjustment system, because I think when this pad is lashed into this bright Big Agnes sleeping bag, I can do it in the reverse, and you know, so it's no longer a bottom quilt protector. Now it's kind of like a cloaking sheet for the whole sleeping bag. And it's not just a cloaking sheet, it's also a protector, because what I noticed, especially with these down sleeping bags, is that they get quite moist from, well, they, you know, from just the condensation in the air. This is the Burley Synthetic Sunbeam 15. This is a real reliable sleeping bag if you're going into the North Country or somewhere where you're gonna get hail and ice and humidity. But normally I'd be grabbing maybe something more to this order, just a lightweight top quilt. Here's my little hammock gear holder that my friend gave me. It showed a picture of it in kind of ridgeline mode, so I stuck it up there. When the hammock settles, it gets a little tighter and comes off my face. But in reality, it's warm enough out here. All I'd have is this top quilt from Wilderness Logics that only weighs like a little more than a pound, whereas this is about 3 pounds. But this makes a full bed. I would just, and what about a bottom quilt? Well, as it gets below freezing, I would wrap the pad with the bottom quilt, or I would use a different hammock that uses a bottom quilt only. And obviously this is a bottom quilt protector. It's a lightweight nylon with like a DWR finish, maybe, to kind of lightly shed rain but breathe too. I don't know, I got it on sale from Hammock Gear. If you're kind of into bushcraft and you're looking, I've had real good service from Hammock Gear lately. I've got a couple Superior Gear hammocks, and they make a woodland camo that snaps to the hammock. It's called like a bottom quilt protector, but I think this will serve as a multi-purpose device, and it's really small. It's either of these items, they're maybe like luxury items. If I was going really far, and especially if it was in the summer, you know, I don't know, I would grab two main things: this super lightweight hammock and a well reliable pad that's comfortable anywhere, on the ground, somebody's apartment. Then I would think, is it really cold? Is it like gonna be below freezing? Should I wrap this whole setup in a light underquilt, bottom quilt? Or is it gonna be really, really cold, like 5 Fahrenheit, 5 below zero? Then I maybe take my thicker bottom quilt and wrap it over it. Or maybe I'd consider getting out a thicker hammock, like a Superior Gear or something like that. But I think it's pretty cool. I'm liking the service from Hammock Gear. I got a little titanium stove they had on sale that you kind of can burn some twigs or put it. I bought the little alcohol fuel thing. I don't know a ton about cooking. I watch other people's videos. I had a good time over the summer cooking all the vegetables people would give me up in Rainier and International Falls, Falls, Minnesota, so shout out to them. I picked up a little pan off one of those tables, and I just kind of leveling up a bit. I watch videos from all the characters like Shug and Syntax 77 and the Outdoor Gear Review and Daisy and Darwin, and I could go on and on. I appreciate all the videos from everybody. Maybe someday I'll be as good a character as them. Alright, action. Back in. Back in with my little top cocoon thing and my cloaking device. Hammock Gear Bottom Quilt Protector One Wind Hammock Gear Holder. My buddy gave me this, and I think one nice thing is you get into your hammock, if it's like me, super ultra light and tippy and stuff with the pad, and you get things dropping to the ground. Now, one thing is you could just throw your jacket or sweatshirt underneath this. You could put a couple things in that, just like this. And a lot of people I see using these down here, and I'm just playing around. I see people with the peak bags and everything else, but I can get into this hammock, reach over, you know, kind of get comfortable, cool down, just chill out with my regular clothes, and then just get ready and climb into my quilt and just grab it without worried about when I get into that tippy hammock, my stuff falling on the ground or whatever. So pretty cool. I realize it's a bottom quilt protector, but I call it a cloaking device. I don't always use bottom quilts, and I think it'd be really good using these cords and different provisions. It could secure it around my pad system when I have my Big Agnes stuff, or on the ground with my quilt, just keep the moisture off me, or in the air like this, especially if I leave the hammock in the morning or at night, and you know, the sheet will keep the dew and mist off it. Alright, yeah, getting into bed with or getting into hammock rather with Hammock Gear's bottom quilt cover, bottom quilt protector. Super nice. I call it my cloak because most of the time I just have a pad, and lately I've had this bright orange hammock. It just happened to be $34. It's an Eno sub 6 for anybody that cares, but it's my ultralight setup. And if you think about it, when I'm in here like this, I've got a blue shirt, bright white socks. Nobody's gonna see me that easy besides my little orange dingle dangle hammock pocket. And I'm only going to be in a Wilderness Logics somewhat summer of a top quilt tonight. That said, it's February, so it could be potentially cold. The thing does do a little service as far as being somewhat of a wind block. Not much, but you could kind of pull these little doodaddies a little tighter to stiffen up the hammock. But I'm pretty excited about it because I'm going to try and use it for a few different things, and I didn't really pay much for it. And if anything, a good thing for it is, let's say you just want some different colors. Maybe you like purple or some other color, but you could make your hammock, like I really wanted this harvester color, but they were out of it for my quilts when I ordered my bottom quilt. Well, I put on this, it weighs maybe like 3 ounces or something, maybe 4, I don't know what, but I can kind of play around with the colors, or maybe I'm trying to decide what color to make a bottom or top quilt or something. It kind of, you know, it's a classic combo with the orange and the camo. I'm digging it. It's called I think it's called Harvester Camo. But I'm liking this. I was actually looking at a bunch of junk in the yard, my hammock stuff, and Granny's yard, her backwoods, and I saw some gray stuff and some blue stuff dangling around, and I'm like, man, that stuff is ugly. It looks like a hobo camp. Not that that's ugly, but you know, like when you're driving and you see bunches of stuff all over the side of the road or whatever. And just what I really liked was when I looked out there and I saw these dark olive with the burnt orange and different things that were on the same page. So both it's kind of camouflage with the forest, it looks good, and I kind of just feel good being in it. Maybe your thing's blue or pink or whatever, but I'm digging these. I need to get some. I've got my Grand Trunk Arbigo tarp, but I want to get some. There's a couple tarps I've been wanting for a couple years. Man, I'd like to get. This stuff's kind of addictive. Action, oh yeah. On the subject of color, and I love camo and olive green, and even the burnt orange is growing on me, or the combo there, the classic hunter's combo or whatever. Another use, talking about this hammock gear bottom quilt protector, we could also talk about this gear loft, and it's like a pack cover gear loft slash bunch of things. My buddy gave it to me, thanks. You could cloak your gear with it. Like if you had to leave and hide your gear, you could just, I've had to do it before, just hide it in the woods. You at least have something kind of to put over it. Maybe protect it a little from the rain too. And by the same token, if you're running something really bright like this, or a sleeping bag or whatever, then you have an item for a signal. Maybe not necessarily that you're in trouble in Alaska about to get eaten by grizzly bears, but maybe you discover a bicycle and you want to bike down the highway, or you're doing some road walking, or happen to be a flagger at a construction site. Oh yeah, action. Oh yeah. Nestling into my little oh yeah. Nestling into my little camouflage system here in my hammock. Got my Livin'Large quilt snapped around me. I've got my bottom quilt from Hammock Gear, my cloak for multiple purposes and things. I've got my buddy Jason gave me this gear loft. I've just got the little pump sack with my rain pants for my pad, and this is how I am a lot. Even though I'm in Granny's backyard, back behind the house, I stay with Granny a lot, and I'm back in the trees where I stay most of the time. The night, but somebody asked me, they were like, hey man, you got any expeditions planned this winter, or you get any trips? And my buddy Jason gave me this gear loft, took me down to the Shawnee, but I've just been having to help out with a lot, and just every day I seem to think I'm going to get enough done, and it's not done, and just it's getting harder and harder to help Granny and Pappy out. There's just so much stuff with their house getting behind, and I'm making up excuses. These are all deadbeat excuses. I'm saying, like, I'm trying to get ideas. I have some trips planned. Like, I want to get to Falling Water, and from there the train splits and goes. I can either take it down to the Potomac and down through that First Landing Park, or down toward Harper's Ferry and take that trail down to DC, maybe the Cherry Blossoms. That's coming up soon. It's already February 2024. If it's later than that, like getting in from Falling Water, maybe I want to get out toward New Hampshire. There's some lakes out there, like Lake Winnipesaukee. There's a bus. I got to go all the way to Boston. I always wanted to get to Ithaca. I wanted to get to check out I don't know if it's Cornell, Carnegie Mellon. I like to spend a little time in Pittsburgh, hammock around the bushes, people's backyard, give a shot. Carnegie Mellon, I was going to do architecture school a long time ago there, and I'm not done yet. Life just happens. You just get run over with time. They don't tell you, it goes by so quick. But a lot of places, Alaska's on the list. Leo drew a little map, my little nephew, the places, not so little anymore, little places I got to get before I do my final writings. And I've got a lot of writing, couple big boxes. I know I'm talking fast. Got to get to Alaska, New England. Other than that, I think I've covered a lot of the states, and I've got a few books at the America's Greatest Tracks book. I've got my Ernest movies I've been working on. I've got a lot, but Some people get a lot and they talk like this and nothing ever happens. I want to be one of those guys. Oh man, look at that cam. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I'm taking a picture with my... This is why I want to be. Oh yeah.